Hi everyone, it's Mary Polanco stopping by for Scrapbook.com to share with you a time hack. So I am going to show you today how you can use some of the favorite backgrounds you have in your stash and use them even when you don't quite feel like coloring the entire thing. So I'm going to be using my favorite background stamp. This is from Hero Arts and it is called Winter Village Peekaboo. So I am going to spotlight a center portion of this so that I can color that and leave the rest black and white. I also am going to be pulling out my nested decorative circles from Scrapbook.com, and I am going to use something to really just give it a little bit of pop. So that piece in my left hand, that was cut out with these circles, and it was cut out of the mixed metals glitter paper. I chose more of sort of the rose gold-ish looking color, and that's just going to be really fun, a nice color theme for this holiday card. I colored up my entire center image with alcohol markers, and then I am going to put a few accent pieces on it. If there are times when you're coloring and you make mistakes or it just doesn't come out the same way that you pictured it, the little accent pieces that you can put on top of your coloring really make a huge difference. So right here I'm taking my white Jelly Roll pen, and that's going to fix up any place where I went outside the lines with my markers or if the marker bleeds. And so that's a good tip just so that you can clean it up a little bit. Another thing that you can do is I decided to add my black Jelly Roll pen, my glaze pen, over the doors. This is going to make the doors pop. I also had a couple other ideas to use my Pops of Color glitter gold. I thought that would be super fun, or any sparkle pen you might have, that would be great. Just add those little bit of extra touches. I'm going to take the Pops of Color in the glitter snowflake and I'm going to put that along the lines of the hills and the trees. And then I am going to start to put my card together. I have this background that I made a very long time ago, and I'm sure a lot of you have those as well, so you can just grab that out, and that's going to be just peeking through a little bit. You're not going to see a lot of it, so really you don't even have to use something that you've colored completely. In fact, you could probably just use white. I'm pretty sure I thought when I was putting this together you would see the blue a lot more, or else I would have just saved that blue card panel for something else. However, I'm going to use my liquid glue to place this straight down. I'm making an A2 size card, so that's going to be a 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. And then I'm going to take my liquid glue again and add it to my circle. Love this circle, all the sizes. I had a really hard time picking which one because they were all so great, and they all cut out the inner part and the decorative piece. So that is like getting 2 for 1. I'm going to take my Scrapbook.com foam adhesive and I'm going to place that on the back of my center piece and just place that right in there, matching up the image from the inside spotlight to the outside where it's black and white. This technique is just really fun to watch come together, and it does cut your coloring like more than in half. I'm going to take some of that leftover glitter paper from the mixed metal set, and I'm just going to cut off 2 very small strips. As I looked at this spotlight, which would have been good enough as is, I thought it would look really cool as an ornament. So I'm going to place down these 2 pieces right here on the top, and I'm going to just make it look at an angle as if it's hanging on a tree. And then I'm going to adhere it to the back. You can cut them off, that's totally fine. I just wanted to do it this way. And then I'm going to pick out my sentiment. Now I'm choosing the Happy Holiday sentiment, and I'm going to bubble cut it. I love to bubble cut my sentiments if the font is suitable, and this one's really fun, and so I'm just going to cut around it. But before I do the sentiment adhesion, I am going to take 2 mini glue dots and I'm going to place it on the back of this little bow. I made this little bow from some ribbon I had in my stash, and it matches really well the sort of rose gold color of the glitter paper. So I'm going to place that down, and now we're starting to look like an ornament. So you can get the idea of the card as you look at it. Okay, now my last thing to do for this card is I'm going to place down the sentiment. I'm going to put half of it with foam tape, and that's because I popped up my centerpiece. And so I don't want it to just flop in the wind. So I'm going to place that down with foam tape using liquid adhesive on the other side. If you don't have tweezers in your stash, you really should have them. They are such a great addition. One of my favorite tools. Helps me get my fingers out of the way, helps me with perfect placement, and just really, really good to use. I didn't mention, but I also put on some pops of color white to make it look like snow on the rooftops. So I did that also, and here's the finished card. Hopefully this helped you maybe not feel like your background stamps can be daunting at times, and just to really enjoy them in multiple ways. Thank you so much for stopping by and for hanging out. What I used in the video will be listed below, so you can check that out in the description box, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.